Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. It feels like I haven't been on here in forever, which is kind of true. I apologize if the background's a little bit messy. I don't really have that much room or place to film that I can set up perfectly, and with the lighting and stuff like that. But this is my bookshelf, so I'm hoping it works. But today I'm finally back and I have a huge haul to share with you guys. Also, if you haven't noticed, I chopped all of my hair off and shaved it. So that's new, I guess. Hello, welcome to my life. March 18th was my birthday. I received a lot of books from that, and I also went to a convention for an English Honor Society, and I bought a lot of books while I was over there. Because what else am I supposed to do at an English convention? And I thought I would just share them with you guys. I'll go quickly through all of these because there are 14 books and I don't want to sit here and just ramble to you about stuff you could look up. But I'll share a brief reason of why I picked them, I guess. The first book, or the first set of books I got at a library sale, so these were all $2 to $3 to even $1 for some of them, so they're really cheap. And so I picked up The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. A lot of people have been raving about this book. I see it all over Bookstagram, and so I decided to get it while it was really cheap, and I'm interested in it. I'm excited to read it. Don't know when I will get to it, but next book is actually a poetry collection called The Wild Iris by Louise Gluck, I believe, and this was suggested to me by Adrian, who is one of my friends who is a poet. And I'm not a huge poetry fan, but I am kind of trying to get a bit more into it and to have more in my bookshelf. And she suggested this one, and again it was really cheap, so I just picked it up. And I'll probably read it soon. Poetry takes about a day, if that. It takes about an hour to read. So yeah, and it's a winner of the Pulitzer Prize, so that's good. And then the next book I have already read, but it is one of my favorites and I really need to reread it because it's been forever since I read it. But it's White Oleander by Janet Fitch. I remember reading this and I just loved it. I love the way it was written. I love the characters. It is a really deep story. It is very sad and a lot of stuff happens that's very intense, but I loved it. And I really want to reread it to see how I think about it now, because I think I read it at the start of high school, so I believe now that I'm in college I'll have more experience and I'll know and understand even more when I'm reading this. And then the next ones I got are brand new, they're not used, they weren't cheap, they were full price. They are from the sale at the convention, and one of them was suggested again by Adrian. This is Ursula K. Lagoon, The Left Hand of Darkness. It interests me because it was sci-fi and she's like, the world is non-binary and it kind of deals with that and like gender roles, and I thought that was very interesting. She said it's a pretty heavy read, but I don't mind heavy reads when I have the time. The one I bought there is the next year's convention like theme book, and it's also a collection of poems by Tess Taylor. It's Working Days, and this is built around when she went and worked on a farm, I believe. Like she took time away from the city and did that. I'm sorry, I keep touching my hair. The next one I bought at Barnes & Noble because I couldn't help myself. I've been seeing it all over Bookstagram. The cover is beautiful. I've seen a lot of people who love it, and it's been recommended to me by a lot of people, and it is Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy Adeyemi. I apologize, but this cover, I just love it. The concept of this sounds great. I am so excited to read it. I don't know too much about it except for like people really like it and what is in the information, barely even in the information at the start of the book. But I'm so ready to read this. I'm so excited I got it. My roommate Leah bought me Cydia for my birthday, which I'm so happy. I'm so ready to read this. I read Alumni a while ago, and then I read Gemini not too long ago, like last month, and I loved it even better than Alumni, and I'm so ready to read Cydia because I can't wait to see if they continue like the good streak, if they continue making it better and better. And I'm really excited to get back into the world, and I just love the way they did the organizations of this book because it's all in chat logs and like video feeds. It's so cool. I'm so excited to read this, and I'm so glad she bought it for me. Thank you, Leah. For my birthday, my parents bought me what was in my Amazon cart, and among that was a collection of poems by Edna St. Vincent Millay, who I have currently read about 2 or 3 of her poems, and one of my favorite poems is Witch Wife, which is by her, and I wanted to read more, so I got the collection, which I do not physically have with me. That is coming in the mail soon, but that is one of the books I got for my birthday. Along with that, I also got All Out, the no longer secret stories of queer teens throughout the ages, which is an anthology edited by Sandra Mitchell. This is just a whole bunch of stories about queer teens with a lot of representation of pretty much race, gender, anything you can think of the spectrum, and I've read the first 3 stories in here and I'm in love with it. The first story was so good. The third story is really cute. Didn't like the second one as much, but it still wasn't bad. I love it. I'm in love with this collection. I can't wait to finish it. I'm so excited and so happy I got it. For school, I'll just briefly mention I purchased The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. I was supposed to get this in my other book haul that I'll link above. It was my classic book haul for really cheap. I was supposed to get that along with that, and for some reason it didn't arrive, so I had to repurchase it. I bought it from a friend on Bookstagram, but yeah, I have to read this for class. I don't really know much about it, but yeah. The last books I bought at a used bookstore, again, these are also a kind of gift from my parents to me, and they're all really cheap. And the first one is Neil Gaiman, American's Gods. This is actually Leah's copy. She bought somewhere else, but my copy is at home because this is a massive book and I know I'm not going to read it while I'm in school. I'll probably read it over the summer. But I've heard a lot of people really like this and they talk about it, and like it's one of those heavy books, but it's also one of like the classics. I know there's like a TV show or something. I haven't seen that either, but I picked it up because it was cheap and I was interested in reading it. Hopefully I'll get to it this summer. Who knows? Maybe I'll just take it on my trip to France and have that massive book to read. And the last 3 books are actually works of Shakespeare, and I got The Tempest, Othello, and Hamlet. Hamlet is my favorite Shakespeare play ever. Freaking love Hamlet. It's so funny and so serious. Hamlet is like the most dramatic emo boy ever. I just love it. I love it so much. And then we saw a production of Othello in Cincinnati when I went on my trip, and it was done wonderfully. They did it in modern times. It was so good. Iago's the worst, but he's so funny. And so I have Othello to read, and then I also picked up The Tempest because this has been suggested to me, and I have not read or seen a production of The Tempest, so I'm going into it a bit more blind. I love Shakespeare. The only Shakespeare you've ever read is Romeo and Juliet, Then You're Missing Out. That's actually not one of his best at all, or at least the way it is taught in schools is horrible and it's awful and I hate the way they teach it. But Shakespeare is hilarious. Hamlet is amazing. Macbeth is okay. I like Macbeth for its funny parts, but like the overall plot I didn't enjoy as much as Hamlet. Same with Othello. I don't know. Hamlet just will always be my favorite ever. But yeah. So that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you give it a thumbs up and comment down below if you read any of these books I hauled or if you purchased any books recently. I would love to chat with you guys. And thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that little notification bell so that when I post a video, you'll know. I do videos like this. I try to post every Wednesday and Saturday. That doesn't always work because of my busy schedule, but I do books and journaling videos, so please subscribe down below if you want to see more content from me, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!